Hello and welcome. Today is Thursday, the 12th day of October 2017. Welcome to a crypto trading video. My name is Derek. Everything you do is within your own risk and your own reward. And I have been doing pretty well with a lot of the stuff I've been talking about on here. At least I think so anyway. A lot of times what I've done in the past is I try to just research what people say, get good information. And an example of such is, say, sports betting. Try to find what people are talking about. Who do I feel can give me the best edge? And I've given no NFL picks the last couple weeks, or I've been not, I haven't had good information recently, but I haven't been spending much time or as much time trying to get it. But I think this channel has done really, really well. I talked about Litecoin earlier today, and I hate to work on an instinctual level. I would rather work on mathematics, statistics, laws of physics. But I had a weird feeling about Litecoin, and I'm a huge bear right now when it comes to altcoins, and I really haven't been selling much in Litecoin. And I made a video before this move occurred earlier today. I talked about the possible failed breakdown and how within the afternoon I wanted to see it make a break above the 18 average. And sure enough, as it goes, cha-ching, and even above this resistance level. But what really impresses me about the rally, it's doing this against the Bitcoin price, as Bitcoin is just skyrocketing. And I want to take a look at this time frame priced in US dollars, and I haven't seen it yet. I'm curious to look at it now. So let's take a look at this. Then we're going to take a look at Bitcoin after that. And there she be. It's made it up to 60, priced in the US dollar, broken past this resistance. Nice little pattern. Now, within the rally, I'm not going to say it's going to hold, but wow, it's doing well when everything seems to be going lower. We'll get into some alts in a bit, but let's move on to the Bitcoin chart against the US dollar. And within the daily time frame, it's a down day, down 0.75%, down to 54.04. Well, it's 8:15 p.m. Eastern time, 8:14 on this chart. And we're 14 minutes into the new day because 8 p.m. Eastern time is when UTC's turns over to the new day. Okay, so what did I talk about last night? How huge of a situation it would be. I wrote the 4 letters down on the break of this level or area, and how I would expect it to just soar through the 5,000s. So less than 24 hours later, or around 24 hours, however long it may be, or may have been, it has done just that. It has soared thus far towards this level. So now I'm expecting this bull market to keep going secularly nice movement pattern type situation over the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 days, but really for the rest of the month of October. I would expect some 18 average tests along the way, and a great buying opportunity for any type of correction would be in just such. When you have significant breaks of levels, key resistance levels of the past become areas you now look for as support. It worked the last time. This was the last key area. This is what you're talking about in here as it's got its clear break. Okay, well, I guess now 3,000 is the buy spot. There's your buy spot. So now what's the key level in here? Well, the area range is from, well, what's this little base point in here? We're looking at 4,500 on the low end of area of it, and psychological 5,000, but a hair below it. As its key area, you'd be looking for support. Decent chance it may coincide with the 18 average, but it also may not as well. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at. Things are moving into the perspective I would expect them to. Okay, within the next time frame, which is the 4 hour, key level. As I was saying yesterday, how huge it would be on a break of this. Decent green candle. Decent green, decent green. This one made a new high, closed where it did before. Nice consolidation one. Decent green, and now 18 minutes into this one, it has barely retraced. It has barely moved thus far, and it's been a decent amount of time, given about 30% of its time duration so far within the current period. Actually, no, throw that out. That's an hourly chart, 3 hours, 41 minutes left. That's normal movements to start the first short bit of it out. Okay, so everything's going straight up like that. Well, it's got to come back at some point, or at least go sideways for a bit. Keyword, some point, and it might be now. But I expect this over the next several amount of days to just keep roaring. So it wouldn't surprise me if it just keeps these types of green candle movements rolling on through 56, 56, 50. I'm at the point where I'm expecting to wake up, turn my computer on, and see a couple $300 higher. I was sure as heck not surprised when I woke up and I seen 52.20ish or whatever number I seen. I'm like, oh yeah, I expected that. I mean, it's just going to roar. And it's doing just that. And technical analysis to me, playing out to me by the book. On the 1 hour time frame, again, we can see this break of resistance, beautiful up move. There's this nice little consolidation. I think I talked about this earlier today on how I love this move. And look what happened forward from this point. Breaks this resistance with a great move. A little bit of a wedge, sideways consolidation. Usually these things will break out to the path of least resistance. I guess not always, but it's not a surprise when you're in a bull camp and you know there's more upside room left. That's when you can say usually it would break out to the upside. It did so from the 18 average of highs. So a nice looking uptrend to say the least. I don't need to go any more short term. We obviously have a clear idea how things are playing out. Let's move this on to the weekly chart next. And I'm going to talk about something I have said before. And again, pattern repeats. When this price action makes a new all-time high and has a substantial correction, and I'll use the 18 average as my judge of what a substantial correction is. Starting from this high. I mean, when you're trading within it, that's substantial enough for me. So therefore, it gets above it. All's good. Nothing too out of ordinary here. Make this high, you come back to the band, you get back to this high, no resistance, you make a new leg. In here, miniature leg. Comes back to this band in here, breaks resistance. No, doesn't pull back, make a higher low. No, it just keeps going. Pulls back to the band. Then at 3,000. Oops, oh yeah, let's just keep going to 5. And now here we stand again, come back to the band, and it's now leaving this 5,000 area. This is barely much of a move at all. This is why when I stated ripping through the 5,000s and really into the 6,000s, seems like that's how I would pick the number. I'll do some Fibonacci in here in just a second and just see what this number is because I haven't calculated it. However, I'm looking at the eyeball test. What would a significant leg higher take you towards? Now this one was pretty extreme to go from here, then to here, then to here. So what's the next one going to be? See, if the next ones are roughly around here, that would be 68. And you know what? That's pretty good. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, a move from, and you can use by percentage math. You don't even need to see these numbers. We have 1350 break to 3,000. That's well better than double. Well better than double on 5,000 would probably take you close to Cliff High's February target of next year. So there is a lot of interesting possibilities to where a parabolic move can take you to. And I'm still going to calculate that level Fibonacci wise, but while I just had a thought in my head, I'm going to do that now. And that is trend line analysis. We notice that since the break of resistance on an uptrend, which is so hard to do and maintain, that is, and it did it, but it's hard to do. Because usually what you're going to get, if anything, is maybe like a move in here, pull back, and then something like that. You have some tries above it and nothing much more. And the bullish trend may continue, but it just can't handle a greater rate of ascent. So now what we're going to do is draw another trend line. We could get a couple points at least. Is it possibly ready to break the next one after it? Well, if it's going to make any quick move past that ladder number breaking 68-ish area, then yeah, and even to 68, it's got Sunday even. It's going to take a few days to get to 68 for that trend line. Basically what I'm trying to bring my point, the whole reason why I'm saying this, is when things go parabolic, there are usually signs in advance that will tell you, here are some of the signs. Now, this is the in advance, I guess. But it's not far off where I guess by Saturday, Sunday, if you see price action anywhere closer to 7,000, then we're in the possibility of having an extreme parabolic situation of OMG proportions. It's still rare, but it's in the foresight if it's going to happen. And when I look back even at the earlier days when Bitcoin was around 1,000, bit above, bit below, one of the things I was stating within this handle was the real thousands level was pretty much going to be irrelevant in the sense that it's guaranteed that Bitcoin is either going to go way up, which way up is defined as breaking past 10,000, or way down, and that's a significant percentage loss from 1,000, which would be a break of this low, and a significant break of this low. Pretty much going below double digits into would be the situation. So therefore, that's the nature of the business. It's doing as one would expect. And then if we go back again to the WebBot cliff high number of, which is getting probably pretty popular in the Bitcoin community, of around the 13K-ish level, which I can't remember when I first heard him talking about it, but I'm guessing it was well below 2,000. So if you were to state, yep, Bitcoin around 12, 13, 14,000, we'll say sometime before the start of the spring, how would the chart look as we're proportioning on the way there? Would a move from 1750 in the end of April to a move to 54.17 in the middle part of October? Would that make sense? Because there's still another 61, 71, 81, about 80 or so days left in the year, and then another 60 or so to finish off February. Quite a few days to go to get to that point. So that again tells, I'm not going to say that. I would normally say that again tells me that there's probably like no chance it's going to have this super parabolic move where it breaks where it breaks this resistance line in here and just goes haywire. And then thus you get like, say, like 10, 11, 12,000 in a quick period of time, which would be like 6, 7, 8 periods. December. No, I guess this weekly time frame, maybe it could make sense. Okay, this is a little bit of me raw thinking along the way. Let's move on to the next chart, because this is pretty much working well in line with a lot of what Cliff High has actually been saying. I did buy his last report. I pretty much read between the lines with a lot of it, and it really has helped indicate that the the October month has played in through as I thought it would, but it's really is for me. I had to read it between the lines with the strategy, and it's worked out well for me. As weird as that might say, I'm not getting paid to promote it. I'm just giving you my way of reading it. But I mean, we live in a world where you talk with people. I mean, everyone's promoting stuff without even realizing it. And this is like, for example, I could say, hey, if you live in Canada, I don't know about the States, you go to like silvergoldbull.ca, you get 10 ounces for spot price because I have one there. Limit one per customer. I can only get one. They can buy with Bitcoin, all $500, free shipping. It's a good way to get silver, but I mean, normally I don't want to be saying that because, I should be getting a promotional deal. We're living in that kind of world, yada, yada, yada. Whatever. It's a way to get silver. People know. If you're interested in more about it, that's where I do buy my silver, is Silver Gold Bull. I really do enjoy them. And yeah, let's move on forward. And now at 8:31, it's 54.50, so just short term, about $20-$30 increase as we continue roaring through, now up 0.17% for the day. Let's go to the 1 minute time frame just for something to do. And in here, the market went to a period where it had not seen levels for 30 minutes. Yes, 30 minutes, because at the top of the hour, price action was in here. Huge fall on the 1 minute time frame. And now I've gotten above this resistance, so now it's got this all-time high that it's seen about seconds ago. I wish there was a tick-by-tick chart. This is where I would like to see it. But anyway, let's go to Dash. I don't want to focus too much time on the alternate coins because they pretty much got the same agenda. I really just want to go over ways of pointing out when it is cautionary times to get out. Like in here, when you have a situation where you have this sell-off that bottoms, you get this rally, which then makes it to the 18 average. So there's your judge to let you know if it's a good enough rally. And you are pretty hopeful after this green candle. And then you follow with this cautionary red. But that doesn't mean it's going to break down. But you would have expected after the previous green up that you were at least going to make a higher low to its one, but it came right back down to it. But then to follow it with these two tiny ones in here. So these 2 hours are really telling you in here the cautionary flags. Meaning when you see it lifting lower from this 18 average, there's a selling signal straight down. And when we look at it even further in here, within each rally, the 18 average does well in here. Spectacular here. Does its job in here. But within this red one, pierces below. But, I mean, that's fine. When you're getting consistent red candle moves down, as we've seen in here in numbers, sort of like the daily chart I've talked about before, it's now grinding its way lower, making you think, And of course, if you never got scared out below, it's one of those situations where if you didn't act when you needed to, it became tougher and tougher to get a better sell signal. But even as we play through in here, we have the situation where after this bounce in here, we come to the 18 average, several amount of periods resisting along this level. And then when you start to see the price action barely go below this line. So pretty much be talking somewhere around here. That's a good indication that there's going to be further decline, and so far has been the case. So that's basically it on that. Let's take a quick look at Litecoin, which was what was introduced. See how that one is playing through. And maybe Bitcoin's at 5,500 at this time. I'll find out soon. And well, the price is obviously a lot different for yourself as you're watching it. And the Litecoin, it's hanging in there. It's hanging in there. Very impressive again with Bitcoin prices at 5460, as I'm saying. And when you're watching this now, could be over 6,000 and not even that much longer after this time for most probability. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I think the final thing I'm going to say about this is it's already made a statement, at least in this chart format, that if this thing is going to not hold and it's like, hey, we're breaking out and this thing holds and stays below this resistance level, then there's definitely warning signs to be in place. It's okay to hold and stay below there for a short period of time and definitely pierce below it for the pattern that you'd be looking for with something like this, which is eventually to make a bunch of higher highs and higher lows. But along the way within the 60-minute time frame, there's going to be your few red periods, down periods. It's going to have a small situation where it'll go below the 18 average. It'll go down for about 7 or 8 periods, and then it'll go back up. These are the things you're expecting along the way. But it does look like it may be ready to maybe have a bull run as Bitcoin's doing the same right now, which is pretty impressive. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.